What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to Tool. Yes, indeed, Tool fans feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-boobity bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Supervised Chaos, and this is actually Supervised Chaos's prioritized request for the month of October for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So here you go, Chaos. Hope you enjoy the show, man. Supervised Chaos wanted to see me react to this song by Tool called Ænema. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a minute, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Tool, yeah, surprise, surprise, and the video has 12 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Tool, Ænema, audio. Not official audio, just audio. Okay, well, we'll see how this one goes. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Some say the end is near. Some say we'll see Armageddon soon. Certainly hope we will. I'm sure could use a vacation from this bore of shit. Free reign circus. Show up, preacher in this homeless fucking home we call LA. The only way to fix it is to flush it all away. Any fucking time, any fucking day. Learn to swim.
3 against the 4. I love it. Three against the 4. I love it. You could seriously count this either way. You could. You could be counting 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You could also be counting it 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. They both work. They both fit. Now, I'm leaning more toward the 3. I don't know about everybody else, but I personally am leaning more toward the 3 feel. I really feel like this is the 3-4. So I mean, that's just me. Like I said, either way could work. You could go either way. They're both equally valid. I love it when bands do this. I really do. And they play that 3 against the 4 in that field. Man, it feels good. the bass line in this is really kind of carrying the song, which I dig. I love it when bass carries the song. One of the reasons why I like Tool songs is because quite often the bass may not be the main melodic line, it may not be the lead line, but it carries the song forward. Like it's the driving force of the song. It's the engine. And I really like that. Anyway, let's keep going here.
Prozac and fret for your pilot and fret for your contract and fret for your car. It's a bullshit. 3 ring circus sideshow. Freaks are in this homeless fucking hole we call LA. The only way to fix it is to flush it all away. Any fucking time, any fucking day. Learn to swim, see you down in Arizona Bay. Some say a comet will fall from the sky, followed by meteor showers and tidal waves, followed by fault lines that cannot sit still, followed by millions of dumbfounded dipshits, and some say the end is near. Some say we'll see Armageddon soon. Certainly hope we will.
With the sextuplets.
I sure could use
Thank you, Danny.
a vacation from this stupid shit.
Thank you, Danny, for adding another layer of complexity. Really appreciate it. Coming in with those sextuplets, but in a 4 feel. Oh, God. God bless Danny Carey, man. Really, seriously. The dude is just, he's not this planet. Seriously, taking sextuplets but playing them in a 4 feel. I mean, really? Dude, do you really need to show off that much? God bless him. Anyway, great use of dynamics. Being able to separate the phrases purely on dynamics alone is pretty cool. I'm glad they're able to do that, and I'm glad they did it here to keep the song from getting monotonous. You know what I mean? Because it's still carrying on the 3 on the 4 feel. It's still doing that, the 3 against the 4. The bass line is keeping it simple and stripped down with what he's doing. So yeah, having those dynamics come into play really kind of help break up the song a bit, and that's a good thing. It's a very good thing. Let's keep going here.
Silly shit. Stupid shit. One great big festering neon distraction. I've a suggestion to keep you all occupied. Learn to swim. Learn to swim. Learn to swim. Mom's gonna fix it all soon. Mom's coming round to put it back the way it ought to be.
Really establishing that 4 in the vocals.
Fuck all these gun-toting hip gangster wannabes. Yeah, fuck retro and anything. Fuck your tattoos. Fuck all you junkies and fuck your short
Now Justin's
memories.
doing it. I think it's Justin.
Yeah, fuck smiley glad hands with hidden agendas. Fuck these dysfunctional, insecure actresses. I'm praying for tidal wave. I wanna see the ground give way. I wanna watch it all go down. Mom, please flush it all away. I wanna see it go right and down.
Yeah, I mean, again, playing around with the dynamics, very suddenly too. Like, well, I mean, you're getting both. You're getting the sudden dynamic change, but you're also getting the slow crescendos and the slow decrescendos as well. Like, you get a slow crescendo, right? And it grows and it grows and it grows and it grows and it grows. It hits the apex and then it just drops. But then on the flip side, you also have, you know, where it'll be down low and it'll suddenly jump up and then it'll slowly decrescendo as well. So you're getting both sides of the coin, which, you know, just adds more variety to the song. Maynard's vocals in this, I like how he's adjusting his vocal delivery to fit the dynamics, and whatever's happening dynamically, he adjusts. Now, here's the thing. There have been times where the song it'll either crescendo or decrescendo, but his vocals won't necessarily adjust with it. But it'll adjust just enough that it does make the impact. So, like, I'll give you an example. We just heard it a little while ago, where the song comes in, like, okay, so you had this big part, it grows and grows and grows, and it drops. As soon as it drops, he's already there. Because while the crescendo was happening, his vocals did not crescendo necessarily. It may have crescendoed a little bit, but it was almost like he was being proactive. It was almost like he was anticipating we're gonna go from forte to piano. So I might as well just go to that piano now and be there when they drop. Almost like he was sitting there going, where were you guys? I was here. I was waiting for you. You know, it's almost like that. That's kind of cool. Not very typical of what you would see a lot of vocalists do. Vocalists will usually follow the dynamics of and be more of an active follower and go with what's happening dynamically, where Maynard was like ahead of the curve. You know what I mean? That's fine. And it works. It absolutely works. I got no problem with it. Let's finish this out. We'll get to the review.
I wanna watch it go right in. Watch you flash it all away.
See? Paper and bam!
Yeah, don't just call me pessimist. Try and read between the lines. Yeah, I can't imagine why you wouldn't welcome any change, my friend.
Now you're getting them all.
I wanna see it come down, bring it down, suck it down, flush it down.
Now his voice is getting stronger. 1, 2, 3. This was a 3 against the 4 clinic. I like this song. I really do. I enjoyed listening to this. This was fun to count too. There were so many different ways. There were so many different ways to interpret the counting on this. It's like I counted 4 different ways you could have interpreted the counting on this, and all 4 worked. That's frightening, man. That's absolutely frightening. I don't think I've ever had that happen before. I don't think I've ever had that happen where I was able to interpret the counting in 4 different ways. I've had it happen with 2. Several times. Many times. And I've even had it, I think I've even had 3 happen a couple, but I don't think I've ever had 4. This was a new experience. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Tool with Ænema. This was a request from Supervised Chaos. And this was actually Supervised Chaos's prioritized request for the month of October for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So there you go, Supervised Chaos. I hope you enjoy the show, man. I thought about it, but I'm going to be honest with you, folks. I didn't have to think very long. This score came to me pretty quick. Let's just get to it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that an 8.8. Yep, 8.8. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Great song. This was a great tune. This was fun. It was a lot of fun to count. If you know anything about me, you know, being a bass player, I live and die by counting. It's the way I was taught. It's the way I was instructed. And when you've been studying music a certain way for over, for decades, it has a tendency to stick with you. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, counting, man, rhythm section, we live and die by that. It really is. It's like, delivery drivers living and dying by the clock. It's the same thing. It was a joy to count this, man. It was, because it didn't happen until towards the last minute to a minute and a half of the song where I discovered a 4th way to count it. I found the 3 right away. I found that 3 super quick. And then about a minute and a half into the song, all of a sudden I found the 4. So we had the 3 against the 4. And I love it when songs do that. I love it when songwriters are able to put the 3 and the 4 together and they make it work. So you could really count this song either in 3 or in 4. Now here's the thing. Within that 3, we had the 3 and we had the 4. I also found within the 4, I found 3. Now I found that before. That's happened before. It doesn't happen too often. But within counting the 4, you could also internalize a 3. Now here's the funny thing. Now this happened toward the end. This was the last minute to a minute and a half of the song. All of a sudden, I found a 4 within the 3. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I also found a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and within that 3. And I was like, wait a minute. Now that's all Danny Carey's fault. Damn it, Danny. I was like, wait a minute. We found, so that within this one song, we found 4 different ways that we could have counted this, and all 4 would have worked. That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. I don't think that's ever happened to me before. Ever. With any piece of music that I've ever heard, seen, played, you name it. I don't think I've ever had that experience before. That was really, really unique and really, really cool. Probably the coolest thing about the song, if I'm being honest. Probably the most impressive thing about the song. Believe it or not, from a chordal progression standpoint, this song was actually, by Tool standards, the song was actually pretty simple. It pretty much stayed on D almost the entire song. It didn't really move around a whole lot. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's fine. I mean, it works. It absolutely worked, and I got no problem with it. It sounded good. It felt good. There was never any. Here's the thing. There was never any time where I felt like, okay, let's move along. let's get off D. Let's go to B or something. No, I never had that happen. The song felt good just the way it was. I didn't feel the need for anything more. It just felt good the way it was. It felt very comfortable. It felt that's the word. That's the word. Comfortable. This whole song, the whole song felt comfortable. There was never one time where I went, why? You know, I never felt that. The song, I felt like I was a baby in its mother's arms, man. It just felt absolutely almost soothing and almost relaxing. And I think a lot of that had to do with the dynamic play, the usage of dynamics, the constant use of dynamics throughout the entire song, really helped diversify the song quite a bit. And it wasn't the same thing happening over and over and over again. There were times where we would have drops that were very sudden, and we would have, you know, increases in volume that were very sudden, and then we also had subtle, you know, crescendos and decrescendos as well. So it was a good variety, and it kept the song interesting and moving. The other thing that kept the song interesting and moving, honestly, was what was happening within the drums. Danny Carey, dude, Jesus, you gotta be kidding me. What was happening within the bass? Now, here's the thing. I don't know who the bass player was on this. I don't think it was Justin. I think Justin came in on the album after this, which I think was Lateralist. I think that's when Justin came into play. I don't think he was on this album. Then again, maybe he was. I'm not 100% sure. But whoever the bass player was, the riff he came up with, like I said at the beginning, it really was not a very difficult riff. It was mostly root down to 7 to root to the minor third to the root to the minor third to the root back to the 7 again back to the root. It really wasn't a whole lot, but then, you know, he would shift up from, you know, D up to G, you know, but the same thing, root, 7, root, minor third, root, you know, the 7 to the root again. It's the same pattern. The pattern itself didn't change a whole lot when it came to the verses, but, you know, he would change notes, but it wouldn't be for long. You know, it would always come back to the D again. And I'm seeing that's becoming kind of a pattern when it comes to Tool. It seems like a lot of their, not all of them, but it feels like a lot of their songs, like I would dare say a majority of their songs are in D. My favorite key. You know, I think that's one of the reasons why I'm really kind of enjoying Tool as much as I do, is because they play dominantly in my favorite key. Adam's guitar playing in this, very sparse, kind of letting the bass player take the lead. When he did his guitar solo, I think this was one of the most simplistic guitar solos I think I've ever heard Adam do. A lot of sustained notes and not changing notes a whole lot. Like, he would pick a note and he would stick on that note for like 2 measures, and then he would change the note for another 2 measures, and the whole time it was just sustain, change note, sustain, and he would put a little vibrato on there, but that was about it. He really kind of relied on effects for this, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you're going for, and it fits the style of song that you're doing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, and what he did fit just fine. Maynard's vocals really kind of moving around with the dynamics, sometimes in a very proactive way, almost like, you know, getting there ahead of schedule. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that either. There's no rule that says the vocalist has to stick with the dynamic flow of what's happening within the instruments. There's no rule that says that. Instrumentationally, it's always a good idea if guitar, bass, keyboard, drums, they all grow together, but there's no rule that says that one of those voices can't, you know, and maybe they can jump ahead, like what happened with Maynard's vocals a couple of times in the song, where he would drop his vocal down and, you know, dynamically he would drop out and he would be ready, and he would start his vocals in while everybody was decrescendoing down to meet him, or they would drop and he's already there, you know what I mean, like anticipating. it was cool. I think it's very well strategized, very well thought out. Could that have been just a complete and total blind accident? Maybe. I mean, but some of the best music was made by accident. So I mean, it's very possible, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Tool is too smart with their songwriting to have a happy accident like that. I mean, I very seriously doubt it, but it is possible. It is absolutely possible. Now listen, it's a great tune. It's a great tune, and it was a fun song to count. I had a blast with this one. Yeah, I think it's a great tune. I got nothing else to say. 8.8 is where we're at, and 8.8 is where we're gonna stay. So, 8.8, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's gonna do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.